Welcome. I am John Kane, former teenager and womanizer, and this is my glamorous, young but forgetful wife. And we bring to you episode 68 of I Know What You Watch. I Know What You Watched.
I know what you watched
last week. A horror movie review show.
Sometimes.
And I said you were forgetful because you said you didn't remember what you even watched or what went on in any of the movies.
No, to be fair, we had a visit from my dad for a few days this week, so we'd kind of gotten all the movies in early, knowing that he would not watch any of this. And
yeah, he only watches movies with Daniel Day-Lewis because Daniel Day-Lewis is the only actor that can actually act.
I don't remember
that's
much.
Bruno.
I do.
He thinks RoboCop is a joke.
In fact, you know what? I don't
even
even want to ruin the intro. So why don't you just say the order in which we watched these three films?
Right, order in which we watched them, and we started this week with your pick. You picked the movie. You picked the tone. You picked the tone of this episode.
I picked it, but you are the one who fell in love with saying the title over and over again.
Well, it also happens in the movie. So, number one movie this week, not in ranking but in watching, was Seance Games Metaxu. And if you don't know what Metaxu is, then I can't help you, really, can I? Secondly, after that, we watched Morbid. I'm not sure when that was from. Between 2019 and 2025, I know that much. And we finish off the week with Ghostline.
Got me on Ghostline.
Yeah, so you know you love
Ready
it.
for action.
If anyone doesn't know, that is the rock band Rat, and their song Got Me on the Line switched up with Ghostline. Yeah, love Rat.
So, ranking these three is going to be really difficult for me.
You were supposed to say you love Rat as well.
I do love Rat.
Mm-hmm.
The Metaxu is, I think, well enough ingrained in my memory. Unless you enlighten me on some huge plot detail that I've missed, which I highly doubt.
I'll probably be able to enlighten you on all the characters' names. I'm sure you won't remember all of those.
But despite not remembering very much, I'm going to go with my gut, which is telling me that third place goes to Ghostline. Then second place is Seance Games. And somehow, congrats to anyone involved with Morbid, because this week you've managed to scoop the gold.
Well, I would say...
From me.
Shame on anyone involved with Morbid. You get third place. Second place goes to Ghostline. And top of the pile, Seance Games Metaxu. Your legendary pick to start the week off. Thank you, Karen.
You're very welcome.
So third place... We're obviously going to go in my order.
Of course.
Right, we'll start with Morbid, which somehow is your number one pick of this week.
That's really uncomfortable for me to say. But then, thinking about it, I would have probably been equally disgusted having to put either of the other ones in first place.
Disgusted?
They were terrible.
And Morbid wasn't?
Yeah, all of them. They were all terrible.
Morbid was easily the worst of the lot. If you don't remember how it goes, it opens on Halloween night,
yes.
Of course. And there were two trick-or-treaters, and they obviously go up to a
Ghostbuster
door.
and
yeah, little Ghostbuster lad, and the two kids at the beginning and the two kids at the end who were also trick-or-treating. Best performances in the movie. So we've got little Ghostbuster, and I forgot it was someone like a Star Trooper or something like that, because there's some kind of joke made, isn't there, when
the girl
Little Red Riding Hood opens the door.
She's like, "Oh, what are you, a handsome racing driver? And what a cute plumber!" And then the kid is like, "You uncultured swine."
So you do remember. So yeah, as says, so Little Red Riding Hood opens the door. A girl dressed as Little Red Riding Hood, whose name will come across me later, and she's also in there with our good girl. I should say, of course, it's Halloween night, so it's not just Red Riding Hood, it's Slutty Red Riding Hood, and her friend Ashley, who's also in the house, is good girl / just regular Slutty, because I'm not sure what her costume was.
No, well, she was dressed in like torn fishnets and black lipstick and stuff.
Yeah, but that's not a Red Riding Hood style costume. That's just someone in a t-shirt.
I was thinking, I was like, is that just her regular everyday style, or is it supposed to be a costume?
No, it's just Slutty. So it's Halloween night, so that's what we know. And what they're going to do is they're going to have a party, but only with 2 other people. And
Girls' night.
These 2 other people that are coming, Ashley's not a fan of. And before the 2 girls arrive, she actually practices in the kitchen alone, saying hello to them. Hey.
Hi.
Hello. Nice to see you again. Yeah, I don't know what one is best to go with, but it's always good to practice.
Practice is,
Practice
always
makes
the way to go.
So knocking on the door, we have Jess, the slutty flight attendant.
Okay.
So a flight attendant that is slutty. And we also have, not the Blair Witch. Not the Blair Witch. We have Blair, the witch. Blair, who is dressed as a slutty witch. Get it? She was dressed as a witch and she's called Blair. Cool. As we mentioned, Ashley's been practicing how to say hello to Jess, the slutty flight attendant, and Blair, the slutty witch. Because it turns out that Jess and Blair do not like Ashley because, what I can gather, because she's been to Japan, man. Okay? I've been to Japan. Suck it.
Yeah, so it's not that Ashley dislikes the other 2 girls. It's that she's like, oh, they hate me because I left this little town that we all live in and they can't handle that.
To broaden my horizons.
To be honest, though, the way that she goes about it when they're all together, I'm like, well, you are that typical traveller who just makes it really annoying because, like, oh, when I was in Japan, we did this. Oh, and when I was in Mexico backpacking, we tried this, and I was like,
yeah, I'm always
get it.
Don't really listen to backpackers because they're lost. That's the only reason they're going travelling, because they don't know who the hell they are, what they're doing. Don't take any advice from any backpackers/travellers.
It is fun, though.
So they hate her, like we say, right? So they hate Ashley.
Well, especially Blair.
She's been abroad. Yeah. Blair especially hates her.
It seems like Jess is kind of just going along with Blair.
And Ashley also, once the heat is on, Ashley then calls out Blair Witch and flight attendant for ignoring her, I believe, in a food court previously, but recently.
Oh my god, you totally ignored me.
Yeah, calls him out for that. So now, I've just written now, as a question for you. Are you enjoying the whole Mean Girls vibe of this?
It was so tame,
Yeah.
it was really boring. I was waiting for, some energy to be interjected. And also the fact, who's the girl who's hosting Red Riding Hood? She was just completely refusing to accept that Blair doesn't like Ashley. And she was trying to be the mediator. But sometimes friends just grow apart. Just let it go.
This is just how girl groups are with each other. They never all just get along. There's always 1 or 2 being singled out. There'll always be a clique forming, should I say. So while they're sitting down at the table, Ashley, she already knows that flight attendant and Blair Witch hate her for going to Japan. So what does she do? Brings up her experiences in Japan. I mean, that's not going to win them around, is it? And while she's talking about her experiences in Japan, she also lets us know that she's worldly, she's Mother Earth-like, she loves animals, and she hates animal poaching. Right, she absolutely hates it.
Right, that's why she was in Africa or something.
Oh yeah, she's been to Africa as well. They already hate her for going to Japan.
I was saying this before,
now
she just
Africa.
has to interject all the time. It's
Right.
like that makes it really annoying.
So now she goes on about elephant poaching in Africa. Like, you just enlightened me. She's been to Africa as well. She's worldly, as I said. Elephant poaching is bad because it's used to make fashions, which then Blair Witch says, oh, well, my bag is Roberto Babby. Does that make me evil? Because we're supposed to imply that Roberto Babby indeed uses elephant skin to make his bags, and Ashley is just stunned into silence. Right? Stunned into silence, but then it's broken by Blair or Jess going, oh my god, this is boring. We need to invite some boys. And then like, what boys shall we invite? And they say some boy's name, and then Ashley's like, wait, what? And then Blair Witch is like, oops. Because apparently another bad reason for going to Japan is, while you're there, Ashley, slutty Blair Witch is going to sleep with your boyfriend.
Or your ex.
Or your ex-boyfriend. But either way, not very nice. Why are these people partying together? Why is Ashley even there?
Is this partying? Can it really be classed as that?
They called it a party.
Because to
they
pick
called
things
it a
up,
party.
when Ashley and Red Riding Hood are in the kitchen, and Ashley's like, oh my god, they hate me. Mm-hmm. She's then like, oh, by the way, when I was in Japan, I picked up this game, like a board game. Yeah, like a board game. Oh my god, we should totally play it. So
Yeah.
Red Riding Hood is like, I know what will jazz up this party. A nice board game.
Brings out the board game, like you mentioned, from Japan, so you know it's legit. too legit,
You know it's going to be scary.
too legit to quit. Now, the rules of the game are...
Oh, it's been banned in Japan, by the way.
It's banned in Japan, but somehow she got there just
it.
in time before the ban came into place to bring it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, to play. Each answer, you ask questions, you have to write down your answers on a piece of paper, and then once you've finished writing down your answers to these, I believe, 7 questions, you have to burn your answers and drink hallucinogenic tea. Now, the questions are this. We're going to play an amended version of Morbid, the classic Japanese totally legit game, right?
Uh-oh.
So, I'm going to run you through the questions, but we're not going to include the hallucinogenic tea or the burning of the answers. So it's a bit lame, really.
I guess this will just be a regular episode then.
Question 1. Eyes, legs, or tongue? What would you rather have removed?
Ooh. Legs.
Tongue. It's impossible, really, isn't it? Anyway,
I like my food too much.
Yeah. What would you rather eat? Should I just answer my one first and then go? Should we do? You answer
Sure.
the answer. I just did that. So,
alternate.
what would you rather eat? A cockroach, a spider, a rat, or a human? It depends what spider, I guess. But I'll go spider. You know, it's a house spider.
Yeah.
Because statistically, throughout my life, I'm going to eat about 9 to 13 of those anyway, just in my sleep. We all are.
Well, I'm absolutely not ever touching a cockroach.
Yeah.
That is so off.
I mean, you're sure you're going to eat a rat? You're going to eat rat?
Absolutely not a rat.
Human. Human or spider then for you? Beware, people, because if it comes to the apocalypse and we need to cannibalise, she's going to look for some fresh meat.
Yeah, apart from the cannibalistic aspect, that probably would be the most most tempting.
So you want to eat a human?
But I'm going to go spider.
All right. So you're turning down the temptation of human flesh, and you're just going to deprive yourself
when you've got
of spit spider.
Cockroach and.
All right, but I'm not showing my spider, by the way. All right, that's mine. So,
Spidery.
what scares you the most? Demons, clowns, monsters, or serial killers? It's got to be serial killers because I mean that's actually real.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, if something were to actually haunt me,
You know, do you want
I'd be more scared of a demon than a serial killer. But then I don't know if they exist. So
do you want to have a sleepover with a
I'm
clown
gonna say
or a
demon,
serial
though.
killer? I'd rather have a sleepover with a clown. Demon,
Yeah.
because demons are real. Yeah, number 4. Do you have a crush on anyone in this room?
Oh my god.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 5. Pick just one person to live.
And it can't be yourself.
You know,
That's part of the
have I
rule.
missed that rules? Right,
Yeah.
okay, right. I guess that one's answered for us, Ess. Number 6. What person in the room would you want to die? Because of... First, what one do you want to live? Then what one do you want to die?
They didn't say you can't pick yourself for this one, though.
Oh, right. So the rules are switched up per question.
Well,
then.
I don't know if that was just an oversight in the script, but I'd picked up on that because, I guess you can choose yourself.
Turns out number 7 isn't even a question. It's just, if you lied about any of the answers, you need to change your answer now, because otherwise Demon is going to get very mad. So yeah, that was pretty good.
Blair believes in it, clearly.
Yeah. Answers in a bowl, lit on fire. Now it's time to drink tea. But an hour goes by and Blair Witch is complaining that absolutely nothing is happening. But then, oh no!
Ow! You just flicked me.
Some colourful lights come on in the house, around random places in the house, like a blue light, a green light, a pink light, a yellow light, because it now lets us know that Blair the Witch, is now in her hallucinating phase and she is tripping balls, man.
Okay, from here on out, I was very confused because I thought at this point, I was like, okay, I understand what's happening here. They're going to go through each of the players'
Well, they had you,
scenarios,
didn't they? Mm-hmm.
which they started with doing, and then it just went complete. I was like, wait, why have we gone back to someone who's already had it? And
because in the other person's hallucinations, the first person that had the hallucination, this time being Blair Witch, when she's offed, in the people that haven't yet been offed on screen, Blair Witch is still alive in their hallucination. That's why. Yeah, so she walks outside in what is supposed to be a back garden, but to me it looked like the woods, because there were way too many trees for it to be someone's back garden. And there's what I thought was one of those fortune-telling machines.
Yeah.
One of those things. But it turns out it's just a thing that gives you wishes.
Yeah,
so it's not a fortune teller.
It definitely looked like one of those old fairground things, like a box with the fakey person that like you just so aptly acted out.
Yeah, it's in that Tom Hanks movie Big.
But she also doesn't seem too surprised that it's there. She's like, okay, yeah, let me go feed it a coin and see what it says.
So when she makes her wish is for this effing trip to end right now. But then, she looks down at the machine and it's not even plugged in. Because where would you plug it in the woods anyway?
That was the thing, when she saw the unplugged bit and she was all like, dun dun dun. I was like, but what, did you think that someone had just like a really long invisible extension cord put out there and only now are you like, oh wait, what?
It was plugged into nature.
That's what.
So now a jester turns up and starts chasing her through the house. She eventually manages to escape the house, but is pulled back in by those colourful ribbons that clowns have. She's at the front porch. He lassos her, pulls her back in, and she is now tied to a contraption with a beheading feature, which is 2 axes above her head, either side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This scene just highlighted the genius of this script because they suddenly... So the other girl gets involved, flight attendant.
Yes, flight attendant indeed does come out and sees Blair Witch tied to this contraption. And when she steps outside, the jester pops up and just stands behind her the whole time.
Yeah. And every time she moves towards the contraption, the like axe on either side of the head get pulled up a little bit higher. So she's all like... But the thing is, they suddenly knew all these rules to this game that no one has explained to them, but they just knew it.
Yeah, because Ashley's not there to explain this Japanese game that only she would know about.
No, the game where, if you lose, someone's head gets axed in from both sides.
With the whole thing about 2 axes above her and either side of her.
Yeah.
The way that the Blair the Witch was tied to the contraption, she could have just leaned forward, so you noticed that as well.
That the whole time.
Yeah, she didn't think of that. And clearly the directors, the writers, or anyone else didn't think of this. And what do you think about the jester? When the jester turns up, he's always doing the old...
Oh, the jester was...
He has to stand with his head tilted.
That was not good.
In the credits, it had his name, I believe, as Giggles the Clown. So this is we've got to assume that Blair Witch's fear was the clown.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really getting clowns, I was getting jester from this. Are 2 different things.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Exactly.
Definitely had a jester's hat on.
Yeah, so when she starts leaning forward, like the jester... how does the beheading happen? Jess, the flight attendant ends up kind of like backtracking and walking towards the clown.
This was so dumb because, flight attendant is like, well, hang on, instead of me taking a step forward each time and then by the time I get to you, you're going to be offed. I know now that if I just turn around and, face up to the clown guy, because you obviously said that I was the one you were going to save, right? So that's her whole thing. She's like, I can't die.
I hope this isn't getting too complicated.
I can't die. And then I think Jester pushes her to the floor, which sets the contraption off. And
the axes come down and behead Blair the Witch. Jester come out, runs inside. So the flight attendant is now alone, and while she's alone back in the house, we assume we're now going through her hallucination. 2 dudes in lederhosen turn up.
Yeah, that was such
the lederhosen guys,
choice of Halloween costume.
And they are talking about getting some. When I get into this house, I'm gonna get my dick sucked.
No, that's not what he was saying. Because the running joke
he wasn't talking about getting blowjobs the whole time.
He was. The
exactly.
running joke
That's all I'm referring to.
Yeah, but let me explain, because it's a running joke, is that they just come from a party where he was about to get his dick sucked. So not in this place. He keeps saying to his mate, he's like, oh, you better get back together with Ashley.
For the sake of BJ's.
Because I have now missed out on getting a shiner.
Either way, he's talking a lot about receiving oral, right? Now, the Laserhoden blonde is pretty much axed by a scarecrow straight away.
Oh, yeah, by the way, also, would you wear lederhosen for Halloween?
But wait, why is there a scarecrow? A scarecrow wasn't part of the... of the questions. But yeah, would I wear lederhosen? I wouldn't want to wear lederhosen.
And second of all, would you and a mate of yours wear matching Halloween costumes like lederhosen?
maybe if two of us went as Ghostbusters, or in the same costume, but you're two different characters, or, John Travolta, Sam Jackson from Pulp Fiction, or even, a couple of characters from Baywatch. Something like that. But two guys in lederhosen was just weird.
I don't think you want to be going out in red swim trunks in October in England. You're going to freeze your nuts off.
I could go through the Baywatch and find another outfit, which I'm sure they have.
Okay. So these two boys turn up, and if it wasn't clear already by now, it means that obviously the one who's turned up at the house is Ashley's ex, who also slept with Blair.
So he's definitely got a great chance of getting his BJ. They play the odds. He's done well there, actually. Again, let me just say, why is there a scarecrow walking around the house? Why is a scarecrow killed a lederhosen guy?
I think maybe the scarecrow is supposed to be the monster.
No, the monster comes later.
Does it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Is that not the demon then?
No, the monster was it was just a hand, like, trying to get through the other side of a door. It was like a werewolf hand. Blue furry thing.
Yeah, so why is there a scarecrow?
So there's also then a baseball bat death. Do you remember that?
No, not really.
Nah, neither do I.
We do see the scarecrow right at the beginning when the kids are trick-or-treating.
That was it. It's on the front porch, yeah.
But why... Okay.
Now it's alive.
See, this is confusing. This film was very strange.
Anyway, the flight attendant, Jess the flight attendant, she ended up getting her neck slit. So now, Ashley, who we thought was the good girl, who's been travelling to Japan and Africa and stuff like that.
Did you think she was a good girl?
Between the other three, well, she's the one getting picked on, isn't she? And practicing saying hello to bullies in the kitchen. So, yeah, like I say, it's not a good depiction of a good girl, but that's what we're supposed to be getting here. And it turns out that she's not so good, but she's been taking pictures of the others while they've been passed out. Yeah, because they were passed out from the hallucinogenic tea.
That was so weird though as well, because she was literally like positioning their faces and stuff. I was like, what is she actually trying to achieve here?
So Ashley took a picture of them. Now there's arguments again. There's been arguments at the beginning about Japan and Morbid and sleeping with boys and stuff like that, and not saying hello to me at the food court. Now there's more arguments, but it turns out, no, we're just hallucinating, guys. Because now it does maybe get a bit confusing, because we're supposed to believe,
yeah, I told
are
you.
they all back alive again and have just woken up from hallucinogenic tea together?
That's what I was saying. The first two, so Blair Witch and Jess Flight Attendant, I was following along. I was like, okay, this is how they're doing it. And then it just went off.
Yeah. So
the rails.
we've got to assume then that they're back in real life now, but there is actually something outside, and we are now not hallucinating. There is something out there, is what they say. So Jess, the flight attendant, she decides to make a run for the car outside, right? And while she's doing this, no, that's the plan. That's the plan. Jess, the flight attendant's going to make a run for the car, okay? Jess, the flight attendant, before she goes, though, she kisses Blair, because, this might be the last time we see each other. We need some hot girl-on-girl action between slightly Blair the Witch and slightly Jess, the flight attendant.
Oh yeah, also, did we mention that when they were introducing the game and how it works and stuff,
you have to be lesbian.
No, Ashley also was like, oh, it's all in Japanese, I'll just translate.
Of course, she's been to Japan.
So she speaks it fluently. Mm-hmm. And second of all, again, going back to that moment, the 7 questions that we also just answered, at the very first one or something, I was like, okay. And then when it started getting to what scares you the most, and they had clowns and stuff in it,
that's
I was
original.
I thought that this game was supposed to be some sort of ancient game that had been outlawed because it was killing people and stuff. And then they're asking who you've got a crush on and stuff. It was like, this makes no sense.
Well, you just got to give kudos to the writers, haven't you? So after this hot girl on girl kiss, which I didn't see coming, to be honest. Did you? I didn't. What's that for?
It was quite obvious.
Yeah, arguments again now. So Monica and Ashley, though, because now, so Monica must be Red Riding, because Monica, Red Riding Hood, and Ashley are now bonding while. So who's gone outside? Has anyone gone outside?
Flight attendant.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe. No, so yes, flight attendant's gone outside. So Red Riding Hood, Monica, and Ashley, just the general slut, they're bonding now. And they're talking about how they can survive the night in case flight attendant doesn't get back from the car. So one of them, I believe, Monica pulls out a gun and she's like, do you know how to work one of these things? And Ashley replies with, yeah, I shot an AK-47 in South Africa. I think I can handle it. I say she's been to South Africa. In South Africa, you can pay to shoot AK-47s. Ashley's done this. So she can handle a little piece. Yeah. So now Blair, after the arguments, Blair had walked off after the kiss. But now she's back because she wants to help, because Jess, the flight attendant, hasn't come back from her trip to the car. And this is now the point where the monster tries getting the door. They're about to leave. They're all about to go outside to go and save the flight attendant. But then this blue furry arm from a clear Halloween costume prop store just starts banging against the other side trying to get in. And that was the monster. So kudos there again. Now the car is beeping like crazy. There's gunshots ringing out. And Red Riding Hood, she's alive. And she goes searching and she finds a rubber hand on the floor with some car keys in it. It's her car keys. Remember the rubber hand? Wasn't supposed to be a rubber hand, but it was so obviously rubber. That's just rubber hand. She managed to get herself in the car because she takes the key from the rubber hand. And there's this stupid song that comes on the radio. This song that's been playing all throughout the movie. Remember, it's kind of like a rap song.
I do remember there being
absolutely atrocious. Because this is such an indie film, they've clearly got their mates who need a record deal. They're not going to get one, by the way. Can you put our songs in your awesome film? Yeah, because it'll make it more awesome. Blair's out there, stupid song on the radio. Now Blair's killed. So Blair's gone. Blair the Witch is gone. Red Riding Hood Monster Hand is then face planted. She's been face planted by the Monster Hand. And now we see what Ashley's been getting up to, taking photos of the girls while they're positioned around. And
don't the boys turn up again at some point?
Yeah, they do. Thing? Red Riding Hood warns her that someone is under the bed, and the Lederhosen guy is now shown turning up at the house again outside. And it turns out that a demon is in the house, which is this thing with two yellow eyes.
Yeah, just like a black shadow.
And
thing.
Ashley finds a burnt piece of paper saying that she lied about her answers, and the demon knows that this is why he's shown up, and he's not happy about this.
What do you think she lied about?
It was probably revealed, but it was too long to even care at this point. Maybe about, just going to Africa and shooting AK-47.
Right, so not even about the game questions. You think she
just
lied
lying
in general?
Yeah.
I mean, she didn't really look like she'd been abroad, I'll be honest.
When the demon wants answers...
She had a very fair complexion.
Yeah. Maybe she just stays out of the sun, which is very smart.
Shooting AKs.
Somewhat. Shooting AKs. Now the demon wants answers, right? So the demon wants to hear what's been going on. So the demon starts playing his tricks on Ashley and makes her hear voices all around her. But how do you stop this? You put your hands over your ears and you talk to your house and you say, Alexa, play some music. So then she won't be able to hear the voices in her head. Then she ends up choking on the floor.
Right.
And she's dead. And then we get two new trick-or-treaters come to the house. They scream at what they see at the open door. And then the text, Morbid, comes across. And we are Finn. This was your number one movie. So you need to elaborate on what was so good about it.
It was more that the other two came to my mind first as worse. And then I was left with this.
Worse doesn't necessarily mean worse, if you know what I mean. I'd also say this, this is a cack-handed film on all levels.
Cack-handed?
Cack-handed, yeah. Useless and clumsy. Cack-handed, right? In this film, what is the most cack-handed part of it? The biggest failure of this film is the director writers have clearly gone, right, we're based this on Halloween night. We can get all the girls in slutty costumes. Two of them are wearing knee socks, but they didn't do anything to highlight this feature. Now, that is abject failure. If I had girls in knee socks in a movie, I'd be going like Quentin Tarantino with his feet.
They had some pretty good-looking actresses, though.
What ones? Just a flight attendant, I guess.
Yeah, she was definitely the hottest.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Red Riding Hood.
Yeah.
I wasn't feeling Ashley.
Blair Witch.
Yeah, you got me in the right order. Yeah.
This is what the new show is about. We've now gone back to the 80s and we are ranking women by appearance purely.
Well, it's about time.
Join us for next
It's about time someone started doing that again. Because, I'm not happy with beauty standards in movies these days.
Well, if you're not happy, then something has to
I don't think anyone's really happy. I don't think you're not happy about it either. Don't try and play innocent on camera. Complains to me all the time. So my number 2 movie, which I believe was your bottom movie, Ghostline. This is how it opens, right? 8 years ago, a man pulls up in a car to bury a body / statue, because when this figure wrapped in a sheet is chucked in a grave, its feet are upright like this, and they don't move. So who dies with their feet up like that? So it's clearly a statue been shown into a grave, buried over person drives off, and then what happens? A jellyfish-shaped orb comes out of this statue slash person, bumps into a live telecommunications phone line, thus creating Ghostline. This ghost has got you on the line.
Dumb.
You know, this ghost doesn't wait for calls.
Oh, dear.
Never going to go to ghost mail. Yes, so why? Voicemail is active.
Sparks.
Ghostline is active. On that note, why are ghosts bad at texting?
Because, I don't know.
Because their messages always disappear. That was the best joke. That was the best ghost phone joke I could find online. There were 5. That was the best one.
That was horrendous.
It's bad, isn't it? Doesn't really even make sense.
No.
Doesn't make sense. So now, after we've seen this great opening of Ghostline, jellyfish orb into a live phone line. Great stuff. So if you didn't know already about Ghostline, what it was going to be about, now you do. So we're at home with our couple, Tyler and Chelsea. These are 2 terrific actors, by the way. And
in real life, or as their characters being actors?
I think that...
As their actors playing actors.
If they're trying to play a couple of idiots, then, you've knocked it out of the park. Maybe I have to believe that they are just a pair of idiots in real life, because they're so convincing as a pair of idiots in this film. And they move into this house, and then walking around, kind of looking around, is so poor. Yeah. Don't worry, babe. It's only for a year or 2, and then we're going to flip it and move back to LA. I hope so, baby. So that's what they're going to do, because, when you're in LA, you're either a house flipper or an actor, which these 2 are. So if they're not acting, they've got a house flip. So they've moved now to a small town.
They inherited this place, didn't they? It's like his auntie or something.
His aunties, yeah, because otherwise, how would they be able to afford it?
And they couldn't afford living in LA, so here they are.
Tyler and Chelsea, just till they flip it, then they're going to head back to Tinseltown and make it big. They quickly move on to dinner that night. And before we get on with dinner, I just want to mention that they have mentioned in passing, both Chelsea and Tyler, that they're not very well off. But anyway, we're at dinner now at home. Unknown caller rings the phone. Now, nothing's happened yet. As I said, we just moved into the house. They're sitting down to dinner. The phone rings.
Yeah.
There's nothing crazy yet. For some reason, the phone rings and Tyler picks it up and he's like, "This? What the fuck is he doing that? Why is he doing that?"
I don't know.
And it's not like Chelsea's also going, "What the hell are you doing, dude?" She's just like,
yeah, that's regular. That's how he answers the phone.
what was that? So then
Needless to say, he doesn't get any response.
I think the ghost hangs up on him. The ghost is like, "Oh, I've got the wrong number here. This is not the person I was looking for." So then the ghost quickly rings back, and then he's like, "Hello." It's like, what? So that was just bizarre.
Well, was that not him? I think
Acting.
doing like a British accent.
At first, I thought he was doing an accent because I heard maybe like a syllable of Irish, but then he just went.
I think he was trying to do a British accent, and he's saying something about like, "Oh, want a spot of tea," or I don't know. He's saying something weird
if that was supposed to be an English accent, then he needs to go back. He needs to go back to class. That was absolutely terrible and just baffling. So when he answers the phone the second time, he's now that he's controlling himself, the ghost decides that it's going to start speaking to him. And I say his name's Tyler, but the ghost is asking for Eric. He's like, "No way, man. There's no Eric here." And the ghost keeps insisting to talk to Eric. But he's like, "There's no Eric here." And that's kind of like the first night. And so what he does is because he keeps ringing back, he disconnects the line. It's a bit like Scream at the moment, isn't
That's
it?
what I was thinking. It looks like the shittest version of Scream you could imagine.
So the next morning,
Don't you dare hang up.
Wouldn't you believe it? There have been 36 missed calls, and Tyler walks into the kitchen where Chelsea's making breakfast, and he's like, "Ooh, another seaweed shake," because they're actors. They're actors, so this is a joke in the actor community. Keeping it tight and fit, because you need to move about and be an actor. You're a seaweed shake. That's what I think they're going for. So they're actors, but we realise they are actors now in the movie, because after that seaweed shake scene, one for the Times, it's in the evening. Tyler's on the phone. He's like, "Well, I'm sorry I didn't meet your requirements." He puts the phone down, and then Chelsea joins him. He's like, "It's like people in a small town. They just don't get it that actors need to be available whenever we need it for auditions. And I can't just take a job that has me away from the house from 9 to 5.
Yeah, when he was...
People in a small town don't get it.
When he was saying to her, like, oh, maybe from now on we shouldn't mention during the interview that we're actors, because, you know, people won't like that. I was like, well, duh.
Yeah.
Who goes into a job interview and is like, oh, by the way, this is just, you know, a thing to make money. If I'm called for an audition or a job, then I'm out of here.
Yeah, I'm out of this small town.
You can't count on me.
No way I'm hanging around this small town. So as I said, they're poor.
I want to hire that.
They're poor, they're actors, they're not in work. So now we've got what I've like to call Scene 12, Lettuce for Dinner. And they just got a couple of lettuce leaves on their plate. And I think he's like teasing Chelsea about having lettuce. But I'm like, you're eating the same thing, dude. Yeah, so they're eating lettuce. All of a sudden, we believe it, there's more calls. There are more calls, but this time Chelsea answers the phone.
He leave us alone,
And
you weirdo.
Ellen on the phone, on the other, the ghost is called Ellen, by the way. Ellen's like, put Eric back on the phone, bitch.
Yeah.
Because this is like Scream. And that kind of ends because it's the same morning. And wouldn't you believe it, we've already seen it once before, but it's the second time now we're seeing Tyler still trying to change the landline number at the house because of these prank calls. But the darn phone company won't lift a finger to help. So he's got to keep the same number, therefore keeping Ellen's line open to Eric / Tyler. Yeah. So evening, wait, the phone's ringing again. It can't be, can it? Oh no, this time it's just their friend Bobby. Bobby is also an actor who is currently living in LA, right, with his actor girlfriend also.
All actors.
So they're all actors. So they're on the phone. Like, hey, Bobby, how's LA, man? Oh, I sure miss LA. How's the scene in LA? It keeps going on. And Chelsea, something happens to Bobby. Bobby's got to go. He's got another call coming through on the line after this riveting conversation. So Bobby puts the phone down. While this happens, Chelsea then remarks to Tyler, oh, I hope Bobby's girlfriend got the audition that she was up for the other day. And then he's like, yeah, I'm sure she did. If they had the same cast and the director that you had that time that only was interested in your breasts. And they're like, oh yeah, casting directors, such pervs. So then the phone rings again.
But I think you got something, again, a small detail wrong. So, because when...
My merchandise.
When they get the call from their mate Bobby
the
in
actor
LA, this was actually, they were like, wait, what? Because he had managed to change their landline number. They had a brand new phone number, so they were like, well, Ellen can't call us now.
Right.
So when he calls, they're like, oh yeah, we thought, okay,
yeah,
cool.
because they're none the wiser that she's Ghostline.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew they did get that happen, but I thought that was like a more long-running storyline of the phone company just not lifting a finger to help. But yeah, I guess after the second time we see him not getting it changed, they would have changed it, yeah. So Bobby, he's got another call, as I said. Chelsea wants Bobby's girlfriend to get the part. Then the phone rings again. Oh, hey, Bobby, but this is Ellen, bitch. Yeah. Didn't see that coming.
She
now
has their new number. Shock horror.
How has she gotten this? Well, they don't know she's a jellyfish orb that's flown into a phone line. So now it's therapy day number 1. So they go to therapy now, and they don't really have like problems there. It's just that typical LA thing of like, oh, yeah. They're not discussing any real problems. They're just wasting money in therapy, money that they don't have.
I don't remember them going to therapy
because they're eating. I thought maybe I've got it confused therapy because at first I thought the detective was a therapist sitting in the chair while they're just like complaining about their life. So he seemed like a therapist. But now, they got no money.
So it's the detective.
It's date night number 1. Yeah, it is the detective.
Not a therapist.
But then I've written therapy again because they're in like a therapist's office. There's a detective's in a therapy chair and they're just sitting there complaining to him. What I found incredible
was the fact that these people who are getting some prank phone calls managed to get not just one, but 2 detectives assigned to their case.
Well, this is a small town.
Like, wow.
This is a small town.
That's
so
dedication.
Law enforcement haven't got much to do in a small town.
And this guy in particular, because later on in the film, he's like, hey, I don't really have a life. Why don't I...
Hey. So, therapy. Date night number 1. Therapy again. But it's really just talking to a detective. There are now 86 missed calls. So in the meeting that Tyra and Chelsea are having with the detective, there are now 86 missed calls. So detective comes up with a plan. He's like, what we're going to do is, she's going to ring the phone, you're going to pretend to be someone else. And hey, as actors, there shouldn't be too much of a problem for you. Remember that?
Yeah.
that was popped in there. So now they take the detective back to their house. They're back in the kitchen. Ella calls. Right?
Ellen.
She's on speaker. I've got Ella. Ella's on speaker.
Ellen.
There's more talk about Eric. Loud screams, and then they hang up. So they're like, oh, we've just lost Ella/Ellen. And once again, the detective's like, look, when she rings back, say you are Eric. You know, stop denying and just say you are Eric. Eventually, it's been an hour. Detective's about to leave, but the phone does luckily go off. Ella's back. Eric's on the other side, /Tyler. And she's like, right. He's like, why don't we meet? And she's like, I'm in a very, very dark place. Yeah, but how about we just meet? I'm Eric. He's like, I don't want to meet. I just want to see you pay. Then the phone goes dead. So now they're in for it.
Scary.
So you mentioned that you've got two detectives to look this up, and they've looked up every single Ellen in town.
Turns out there's over 100.
100 Ellens in this small town, right? 2 cops with nothing to do. 100 Ellens in a small town.
Oh yeah, so because also the phone that's why the phone company was being difficult. Not because they wouldn't change his number.
They're the phone company,
but because he was trying to find out who Ellen is, like, you know. And they were like, oh, she's on a Ghostline, so we can't track it. That's see.
Yeah, and talking of that, you know, I spent 2 hours yesterday or the day before cancelling my old phone, so it does take a long time. They won't lift a finger to help. I'm telling you, right? I did cancel it. So while the detective informed that they phoned every single Ellen and there's not much else we can do because there's 100 Ellens, they suggest to Tyler and Chelsea, why don't you get a gun? And then they're literally like, a gun?
We're Hollywood liberals. How could you suggest such a thing?
Never.
Yeah.
I could never get a gun, and I'm too poor to afford a home alarm system. But there's no way I'm getting a gun, right? Forget about it. So, alarms are too expensive. They also then, the detectives given one more word of advice. While we're still working on this, maybe don't go out. But then they're like, but wait, we got plans tonight because it's Mexican night. We cannot cancel Mexican night. So here we are at date number 2. They're at Mexican night. They're having margaritas. They're having loads of tacos. Those bowls, like crispy bowls that you can eat with salad in it. All that stuff. But little do the rest of the patrons know that the detective just hanging about, is milling about, looking out for someone that might, you know, attack them in the restaurant.
He's got nothing better to do.
This is a small town. So he's got nothing to do.
With over 100 Ellens.
So once he's there, he does notice that there's this woman sitting alone who keeps looking over at our couple. So he goes and apprehends her, takes her around the corner, gives her the old business, comes back to our couple and says, hey, don't worry, that was Tammy Edwards. She just thinks that Tyler is hot. And then Tyler's Mrs. Chelsea's like, yeah, he gets that a lot. When he looked like this, what are you supposed to do? This guy he's not hot, is he? Not to the point where people's going to stare at him in restaurants.
I mean, also, I don't think...
He's a regular-looking guy, regular-looking guy. No one's going to... He's not going to stop traffic.
Johnny's really on a roll.
Yeah.
Johnny's on a roll. Because I don't remember any of these movies. What I was trying to interject there is that this woman was staring at him like she was a serial killer. So I've never seen a girl do that.
It's just because he's so handsome. Because the lead was, you know, Brad Pitt and, you know, Clooney combined or whatever. So, yeah, he gets that a lot. Now,
well, you never know what you get in a small town.
The detective is not only helpful in apprehending, you know, suspects, he's also good at offering up people he just met jobs at establishments. It's like, hey, I heard you two are out of work, so I know the manager, and I said you guys could do with some paychecks. So after they've eaten their dinner at the restaurant, they don't go home, they stay on and, you know, tend bar for the rest of the night or wait on tables, because when they come home, they're both in white shirts, black slacks, trousers.
I thought they weren't there event staff or something.
Yeah, well, it was the same thing, isn't it? It's a restaurant, so he's got my job in the restaurant, so he's a good guy. But when they get home, all the drawers are open in the kitchen, the door is open, Tyler's jacket has been moved, and there's predator vision coming from the ceiling fan in their bedroom. Do you remember that? The predator
what was
there.
That?
They had a ceiling fan in the bedroom, the predator was on it.
Just hanging out on their ceiling fan.
Looking down. Yeah, so nothing's good when they've got home. The next morning, we've got, have you seen my wallet? Oh, it's not where I left it. Oh, wait, there it is outside on the table. And also, there's a dead rat in the fridge, which I thought was a mouse at first. It looks like a very small rat.
Oh.
So, yeah. So now, we're at the diner for the first time. They've already been to Mexican night. They already had a previous date, which I can't remember. Now they're at the diner for the meeting with Bobby, the actor, and Bobby, the actor's girlfriend, who's also an actor. And they're sitting around having ghost talk. And they interrupt the ghost talk to be like, hey, how did the audition go? To Bobby's girlfriend. And she's like, oh, I didn't get the part. Surprise, surprise. A girl with a huge rack did. And then they just talk about huge racks. And they bring up the casting director again, who obviously only likes huge racks. Yeah. So only girls with huge racks can get jobs in LA now. God. So they had this conversation about huge racks and ghosts.
So
and when they get home now, our couple get home and the tap is on. The tap's running. Right. So what can they do now?
Oh my God, the water bill.
They've been backed into a corner. So they tell the detective that they think it's a ghost. Right.
Yeah.
And then one of the detectives then asks Tyler, hey, what are you sure that you think it's a ghost? And he says something along the lines of, I don't know, man. My belief system is fried right now.
God.
Then we transition.
But they're also like, oh, I bet you think we're crazy. And the detective guy is like, no, not really. I was like, okay, this makes sense.
Yeah, he doesn't look very... He's not all there, is he, the detective?
Well, he moves in with them, so...
Yeah, we're not there yet. Right? Now we've got our paupers having their second diner meal, at least this week, right? And this time it's with two paranormal investigators.
Oh, dear.
Yes. And would you believe it? Before they can really get into what's going on, Tyler is being eye-candied again. There's just two women just staring at him from a booth. And they're like, hey, I think that girl, she fancies you. He's like, hey, when you've got all this, can you really blame them? And this kind of stuff is played straight. If this was written as a comedy, it would be good. It's still good as a serious movie because it's so bad. This guy's the hottest thing since, I don't know, what's a hot
Brad
guy?
Pitt.
Brad Pitt again. There you go, that's Brad Pitt twice.
He's hot, though.
He is hot. Second thing, so the guy's hit on again. He's like, can you blame her? Yeah, I'm a specimen, baby. I'm a specimen, baby.
Oh.
Yeah, and while they're having conversations with the paranormal investigators, they're like, the paranormal investigators say to them, oh, so you think that that your house is haunted by a demon? And then the couple reply, no, we're thinking more like a ghost. That a ghost is different from a demon. And when I was in religious studies class, I found out that all religions, including like Buddhists, Christians, Muslims, all believe in ghosts. So they're schooling the paranormal investigators with this eye-opening information. Yeah. So now, after I'm a specimen, baby, the investigators decide to come to the house, and they get very frustrated at the lack of activity. They've been doing all their work, and nothing's happening. So it's time for an EVP session, but that's also a waste of time. Just nothing happens. But then there's a sound and an apparition, which is like a bit like a fat Reagan from The Exorcist.
Right.
Remember that?
Kind of. Were these the investigators who were like, was it in this movie where they say, oh, just another sucker that can pay us will be out of here within half an hour or something?
That... No, if
they
might. No, I don't think they said that because there's someone else coming later. But before we get to later, it's time for meal number 3 in the diner, and again, it's with the investigators. They suspect a poltergeist after all of their EVP sessions and walking around knocking on stuff. The geniuses that are these paranormal investigators suspect a poltergeist. So there's nothing that they can actually do about it, but give Lord Castleberry a call. And Lord Castleberry can help you. So now the detectives, they go and talk to a local in a country music bar. Because, this is a small town. So they only play country music and there's only rednecks in the bar. He's a proper redneck, and he's got the cap, he's got the vest.
Well, that's
He's
Eric.
unshaven. Thanks for ruining it for everybody. You just let go the twist. Great.
But we know it by now, don't we?
No, we haven't even seen the local until now. This is the first time we've seen the local. God, this is why, I tell her before we start this, you keep your mouth shut and I'm going to lead it.
I think that has been happening,
so,
don't you worry.
A guy who may or may not be Eric, this local in a country music bar, because this is a small town, he's there, and once again, while this is happening, while the detectives are talking to this small town guy, the man detective is now having dinner with the couple. There's a lot of eating going on in this film. He's having dinner at the couple's house.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, hey, I'm really appreciative of a home-cooked meal.
Yeah, this guy's life sounds really sad.
Yeah.
And this is what his assignment is at work. I mean...
He's living to work, isn't he?
Yeah.
So when I say maybe the reason that he's so, engaged in this case because it's a small town, there's nothing else to do, maybe it's not true, because he clearly doesn't have time to even make food for himself. Doesn't have time to do anything, it seems. Now, after that scene, we're at home. Chelsea walks into a room where there's a television playing of a woman eating a crumpet.
What?
There's a woman eating a crumpet on television, and this perturbs Chelsea no end. It horrifies Chelsea, this crumpet eating woman.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
There's a home video of a woman eating a crumpet.
Okay.
Yeah, it might be a waffle. I've written crumpet, and right, this is supposed to be scary for some reason, but I must have missed something. I must have missed the whole crumpet part of the story. Anyway, while she sees this, Tyler's upstairs in bed, but there's this figure under the sheets riding him.
Yeah.
It's a demon. The demon is riding him, but she's in the form of a demon, right? The detective is now staying at the house again, because obviously he can't leave, because now there's been a demon attack. They insist that he stays. He's quite happy to stay, because he's getting used to this kind of like home-cooked meals, good conversation.
He wants to be adopted.
Company. Yeah, he kind of does want to be adopted by these two LA transplants. But it's not a very good idea, because when the detective goes to bed that night, he becomes possessed, walks into their bedroom, and goes to shoot Tyler in the face. So they attack the detective, and he wakes up on the floor. He's like, whoa, hey, Tyler, why are you on top of me? It's like, oh, you tried to shoot me in the face, brah. And he's like, oh my god, I think I better leave. And Tyler's like, no.
Oh, no.
You were just possessed by Ellen. It's okay.
Oh, right.
It's okay that you also tried to shoot me in the face. Let's just carry on now.
I'm not worried about it happening.
Yeah, you were possessed, that's all. So now they come up with a plan. Have you ever heard of the ghost eradicator, Dr. Castleberry, is what they now say to the detective. So it's time to enter Castleberry. And he says he's going to cleanse his house alone, but first he needs to take a check, because wouldn't you believe it, he's a fraud.
Right, so this is the dude who's like, he does put more effort in than most frauds would, though, because he does go around with some burning sage and whatnot.
Yeah, I've written he does the rituals like burning sage, as you mentioned, and he's about to knock off, but then there actually is an apparition in the house, and we know this because we hear knocking sounds in the background. Taps have been on, closets have been opened, cupboards have been opened,
scary
stuff like that. Jackets have been moved, wallets have been moved, rats have been put into fridges. Okay, so he's going through his stuff and is knocking over. The apparition comes out, breaks his neck. Abysmal scene. Diner scene number 4. Chelsea and Tyler are now back at the diner with their acting friends, and I've just written total waste of time.
Do you know what? It's really no wonder that none of this film stuck in my mind, because it's so boring, even just sitting here, just you running through the highlights.
These are the highlights. Yeah, I'm sorry I tried to shoot you in your sleep. I should probably leave now. No, that's okay. I think you were just possessed by the ghost of Ellen. Yeah, spiritual possessions are common in many religions, including Christianity and Buddhism. I learned that in religious class.
Johnny, we don't have to repeat the boring stuff that we've already talked about. So they're at the diner again for like the 18th time.
They are at the diner, but that wasn't an important diner scene. The other diner scenes were important. So now it's 3 days later, and Bobby the actor and Chelsea, they're going for a run. But for me, it's a bit flirty for my liking. Chelsea's supposed to be with Tyler. Bobby's supposed to be with a woman who I don't know who her name is, who lost out on a roll to a woman with a big rack. Yeah, and they're having this flirty run and stuff. And they have this inane dialogue. They start talking about the ghosts again. And as they come to a stop and like sit on the wall, one of them turns to the other and is like, I can't wait for this to be over so we can go back to our acting careers.
Yeah.
Careers.
Quite cringeworthy, isn't
it? So now
it?
there's another meeting with the detectives. And so Chelsea and Tyler are sitting down with the two detectives. And once again, detective man, he's apologetic. He's like, oh, sorry once again for trying to shoot you in the face.
Hey, no worries, man.
No, it's not even
that.
that.
Effect on people.
It's not that. It's, hey, sorry I tried to shoot you in the face. And then Tyler replies, hey, stay off the processed foods. Because, he's never had a cooked meal. So he's blaming it now on the processed food that he keeps eating because he hadn't had one of his seaweed shakes. Or stuff like that. Or lettuce dinner. They should take him to the diner, probably cheer him up. So sorry about the whole trying to shoot you thing. And now we're back to the local / Eric in a country bar in a small town, right? And he's running up a tab. They've got a plan that now they know or suspect it to be this guy. Chelsea's going to go there and shine him on.
Yeah, have we not had a bit of a backstory now? We kind of know who Ellen is. We kind of know who Eric is. They have let us in a bit about how, like...
I haven't got that down as important. But you can fill it in.
Because Eric was abusive or something to Ellen and may or may not...
What, a redneck?
Have been...
An abusive redneck in the movie?
Have been the cause of her disappearance. And obviously we know it is. That was Eric chucking the statue, which was supposed to be Ellen at the beginning.
I would just like to say as well...
And she's now out for revenge.
That the local in the bar in this country music pub, in this small town is San Diego. So, in San Diego, they're all backwards in San Diego, aren't they? It's like the Taliban rule there, like women are only able to see with one eye, and they don't understand the concept of actors. San Diego is just, it's just a backwards town, a small town, a hick town. Imagine having to live in San Diego. I mean, that'd just be a nightmare. Especially like moving from LA. Oh my god, LA is so great. Oh, San Diego.
San Diego.
A whale's vagina. So now Chelsea sits next to him. He calls her classy and attractive. So that's going to work on any woman, isn't it? And the barmaid says, hey, watch out for this one, because he must be a bit of a player, Eric.
Either that or the barmaid knows.
And he thinks he's getting lucky again, because he goes back to Chelsea and Tyler's place. She says, oh, I'm just going to slip into something a little more comfortable. He thinks he's going to get lucky, so he's sitting there like... He can't whistle. He's trying to whistle. Theoretically, he says to him, sit on the chair and whistle like you can't believe your luck. Shouldn't have done that. But then the boyfriend, Tyler, comes out with the gun. They've caved.
Yeah, they got a gun.
These two liberal actors from LA have caved. They've bought a firearm. The most conservative item you can possibly buy. How are they going to explain this to their progressive douche friends back in LA?
Bobby will be very
That's what I'm worried. Yeah, Bobby and Tyler aren't friends anymore.
But anyway, they've now got Eric cornered in the house because their whole plan is that if real Eric is in the house, then Ellen will finally be confronted and realise that Tyler is not Eric.
Well, when Tyler comes out with his gun, clearly he's never handled one before because he hasn't gone to South Africa and shot an AK-47 like the girl in the other movie and stuff like this. Because he's a liberal. He's a liberal. Liberals don't touch guns, right? So he now stupidly gets in a scuffle with the redneck, and of course he loses the gun because Tyler the liberal is not going to win a fight with small town San Diego hick Eric, is he? So now Eric ties up both of them,
so dumb.
And he threatens rape on Chelsea. So then, which Tyler's like, "You get your filthy hands off her." That was him moving about, tied up to the chair.
Yeah,
so he does that.
You did a good job.
The apparition then turns up, pulls out the local's heart, and that's when the apparition is now freed, and it turns from Reagan to a renewed woman after a bunch of space comes around her head.
But she has to be reminded first.
The cosmos.
She pulls his heart out, Eric's heart out, and then it looks like she's about to go and off the couple as well, Tyler and what's-her-face.
And she realised that they have nothing to do with it.
Yeah, she's like, no, you got what you wanted. And she's like, yeah, you're right. Ooh.
What's also cool is, when Eric has them tied up, he's talking to them about how he's made actually 7 kills. And he remembers Ellen because it was his first one, but somehow he doesn't recognise that this is her house. This is previously Ellen's house. Although he mentioned he's been here.
Right.
So that was dumb.
Well, he just doesn't think that she's Ghostline.
When, as I mentioned, when Reagan turns up and she turns into then, the space cosmos comes around her, and she's beamed up like Sulu from Star Trek. That's literally what happens. That's pretty much the end. So the detectives, it's like fast forward in time. They've been through a lot. Tyler and Chelsea, but they're still friends with the two detectives. The detectives are filling them in on, hey, we've actually found 5 of the 8 bodies of the victims of Eric, and we're pretty close on the tail of the other 3. Hey man, congratulations. So it's a happy ending because they found 5 dead bodies and they're about to find 3 more. So it's a wholesome end. Everyone's cheering.
Now, can I interject that you kept stopping me from saying this, but you never actually got to it? The agent literally moved in with them. He's like, I've got such a boring life.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that I kept wanting to mention it, and you're like, no! As if it was something important you were saving, and then you didn't even get to it.
I did get to it, because I said he was moving in and, enjoying the conversation, the company, things like this. And then he tried to kill them, so he moved him in, tried to kill them, and he still wanted him to stick around. So anyway, he's now happy, because he's almost caught 8 dead bodies, so he's going to be like a hero in his small town San Diego. I haven't even heard of San Diego. It must be such a small town. But now there's a new couple who've moved into the house. No, sorry, the couple have either moved to a different house or they're in the same house. As another unknown call, this time is calling for Diana. It's me, Eric.
Yes, they've started the whole process over again.
Because there's unfinished business. Eric says, see you soon. Ha 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 ha. The end.
That was quite a good laugh.
That's what happens. Yeah.
Finished, finally.
So.
What a pile of crap. Garbage.
Garbage. What was the worst part of the film?
The absolute over-the-top cringeworthy nature of these actors.
The actors as characters are just the actors themselves.
No, it seems all the stereotypical stuff that they were adding in there was just disgusting.
Yeah, not everyone. I assume these people are from Los Angeles, and it just seems like anyone born in Los Angeles just thought they have like some God-given right to get into the movie business. And there's movies like this that prove that most people should just stay away from it, especially people from LA because they're pretty dim.
That's an overall judgment there.
Of course, there are some good people in LA. I know so. But for the most part, it's a pretty div town, isn't it? Like the people like the characters in the film. God, no. So, number 1 movie of the week for both of us, right? No, not just for me. I can't believe it.
Different.
Seance Games Metaxu. A small, independent movie I kept reading everywhere. By the way, this has the most obvious case of IMDb ratings bombings from probably the director, the writer, the producers, and everyone else involved, giving it 10 out of 10 and just praising every single facet of the movie making process. Yeah, this little indie movie cost $500,000.
What?
Having $500,000 as a budget doesn't make
it doesn't make it this.
$500,000. All you've done is waste $500,000.
I thought it would be way less. I mean, considering they've got one location.
Yeah, it looks
4 actors.
It looks like a $15,000 film.
It looks pretty much handheld. Yeah, that's crazy.
We got 4 characters. And we are introduced. We've got 4 characters who are influencers. Our favourite topic. You got to love it when your characters are influencers. And we're introduced to them first, not by their actual names, but by their influencer names. Do you remember them?
Like Cranium Brainiac.
Almost. We can start off with the most easiest one. We got Cat. Right, Katrina is just called the Cat. Then we've got Magnificent Morgana, or Magnificent Morgan. Power Man.
Oh dear.
And Genius Brainero.
Genius Brainero
because he's a smart guy.
Oh my god. And also, there was a running thing throughout this film which I found really confusing, which was that each of these names that they had.
Genius Brainero.
They had little characters as well, little computer generated characters.
Avatars.
And there would be some weird overlay on the images sometimes of making it look like there's some kind of game. I have no idea what that was supposed to represent. Because
Metaxu is the online game that they're going to play, and when they're streaming it live, all their millions and millions of followers get to watch it. Ugh. So once you're introduced to these avatars, Genius Brainer and Power Man, especially Magnificent Morgana, it's 3 days earlier, and I don't know why it's 3 days earlier, because all we've seen so far is 4 avatars on a screen and some text saying "Game begin" with a kind of demon face. But then it goes 3 days earlier, like this is supposed to be the end of the movie or something, right? And we've got 3 women's in a convertible, 2 up in front, 1 up in the back.
Oh right, yeah.
And they're driving to this house where they're going to play this game Metaxu. And as they're driving there, they kind of like mention that, you know, they're influencers and they need to go and talk to their people. So they stop off along the way. They get their phones out and it's like, "Hey, Morganites, oh my God, I am in the most haunted place I've ever been. And wouldn't you believe it? My bestie, Kat, is here too." Ooh. And Kat comes on. She's like, "Oh my God, guys, I am in literal hell right now. I'm in hell right now." And then like, bye-bye. I mean, why would these people have millions of followers?
I mean, I guess it feels kind of realistic from what I've seen of certain influencers.
Yeah, I guess because the dumbest
I don't know why.
people just for some reason have massive fan bases, didn't they? And so I guess I've hit it on the head really, but I don't think it was on purpose. Yeah, I'm literally in hell. So they're talking about getting to a gas station. So the 2 girls from the front of the car, they've got out of the car to do this like mini live stream. The girl in the back of the car just like keeps on sitting there and she's not really saying much.
She seems a bit moody.
Seems a little bit moody, but she is interjecting now and again in the conversation. The 2 girls get back in the car and they're talking about going to a gas station, which apparently has appeared from nowhere. It wasn't there before, but all of a sudden it is there now. Maybe they're paying too much attention on their phones and didn't recognise the gas station, but apparently it wasn't there because the girl in the back is like, "It wasn't there." Then she vaporizes.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell's going on? What's going on here? Do you like the vaporizing of a woman?
It was really bizarre, and it took me a while to figure out what the hell they were trying to insinuate with that.
Once she vaporizes, the 2 girls drive towards the gas station. There's a gas station attendant there. And he's like, "Hey, where are you heading?" So they tell him, and they're like, "Are we going in the right direction?" And he replies, "Some would say you're going in the right direction.
It's also
Some would say you're going in completely the wrong direction."
It's also really old-timey, this gas station.
It is old-timey. He's got his old-timey like slacks on, hasn't he?
Yeah, and there's
like,
an old-timey car and everything. Yeah.
And the girls also talk about, "Oh my God, I need gas." This is why the gas station is important. They need gas, petrol, because they have to beat the boys to the location, of course. But wouldn't you know it?
Here comes the testosterone.
This testosterone car shows up with this pounding music. And, you know, one guy just hanging out the window. It's Power Man, baby. Hey, girls. And then Genius Brainero, he pops out the sunroof to, you know, be cool.
So the girls' names, they don't really mean much. They're just plays on their names.
Morgana.
But the guys, so Power Man, and, you know, especially Genius Brainero keeps making comments about Power Man like, "Oh, you're so big and beefy." And, like, the actor wasn't unfit or anything, but I was like, from the way they're talking, I expect something a bit more Arnie-esque.
You know, he's no Tyler
which it wasn't.
from Ghostline. He's always getting hit on in diners and stuff like that.
And Genius Brainero, this was so painful. Like the dialogue they gave him and his performance of it and stuff, it was absolutely awful.
Genius Brainero, do you have an example of the awful dialogue?
He's so smart, you know, when they get to this haunted location where they're going to do their Seance Metaxu stream. He's obviously thought ahead. He's like, "Don't worry, I got my portable wireless and portable this."
No, it's not that. He's brought a portable satellite system with him.
Everything. He's just
portable satellite system. Yeah. That's what I enjoyed. So when the 2 guys pull up boom, at the gas station, the girls then say, "Gas station attendant man just told us that they don't sell gas." Huh? What kind of gas station doesn't sell gas? Then the 2 lads let them know, "Don't worry, we brought some spare petrol with us." I wrote about Genius Brainero's idea because he's so smart.
Oh, and that was the other thing. They couldn't get any signals, so they couldn't use their maps and they didn't know where they were going. But of course, Genius Brainero had not only printed it out, but he also had step-by-step detailed instructions. So, you know, no worries, chicas, just following our dust.
And before they set off again, the 2 girls, one of the girls makes mention, "Oh, while we're there, I'd also like to find out what happened to Julia." Turns out Julia is the girl that vaporized in the back of their convertible, right? So
who I think was just their mate, but to me it seemed like the way they were talking about that one of the girls, I think Kat, that it was her younger sister or something like that.
I never caught that. It doesn't really matter if it is her younger sister, does it?
But it clearly wasn't. But
No.
Yeah.
Thanks for bringing it up then. So as they arrive at this property is behind like a bunker or something like this. So before they go into the property, the other characters have to get out and do their vlogs/streams. So Power Man was possibly the least committed in his portrayal of this. He's like, hey, power people, we are going to find some super sketchy, supposedly haunted hotel. And we have, like, the whole power squad here. Power people. Like, subscribe, comment. It's like, that'll do. He also rinses Genius Brainero during his vlog. It's not very nice.
Well, that's what beefy dudes do, isn't it? They rinse Genius Braineros all around the world.
It's not so easy to get into this. I think it's a hotel or mansion, whatever it is, right, where they're going to.
It's some super haunted old abandoned
so
building.
instead, they break into it and they all just start instantly filming.
Yeah, I guess also it should be said that this Metaxu Seance thing that they're going to do, it's a competition. So there are multiple groups of influencers doing this all over the country or the world. Who knows? And
Metaxu's worldwide.
they will
baby.
win a bunch of money, I think it is.
300
if
grand
they
each.
have the most people watching their live stream. But what I found really weird about this as well was that they kept saying on their little personal vlogs, they're like, oh, and make sure you stay updated so that you know when we're going to do it, because you don't want to miss it. I was like, well, surely it would be a lot more sensible to set a schedule, a time before you get there.
No, you want to keep your fans on the edge of their seat, like, I can't miss any posts, when's this going to be? That's how you keep them engaged.
Right.
So if we were like, oh, we're going to do another I Know You Watched Last Week next week, but I might put it on Friday, might put it on Saturday, who knows?
Then you'd all be on the edge of your seats, wouldn't
you? Once they break in, as I said, they're all like filming again, they let know what they're going to do. So Power Man's looking through his phone, he's like, 2 nights, 2 seances. So maybe I should do that, like, because he's got a lot of followers. Maybe if I did that at the beginning of this, I was like, 1 show, 3 movies. People would like that, and then we'd have way more subscribers and stuff.
Well, you just did it now, so we're all good.
Let's hope it opens. Like and subscribe, bitches. Now they're going to do numbers. So there's a little bit of exploration. They're all touching items and filming. Like, you don't like it when teens go into a house and start touching items, do you?
Yeah, but at least in this case, it was just abandoned, so it didn't really matter so much. I think this was supposed to be some kind of old, like, hospital or something, because there were a bunch of boxes with files on the patients and whatnot.
Stupid. So Genius Brainero, he's also doing impressions of Jaws and The Sixth Sense while this is going on. He's like, "Here, we're gonna need a bigger boat. I see dead people." His impressions are amazing. Sally Ferguson, the hippie, now shows up. She knows nothing of social media. She's like, social what? Because she's asking them what they're doing here. Oh, hey, we're all streaming for this game called Metaxu. It's on social media. She's like, sounds like your drugs are more harsh than mine. Good stuff.
Just the absolute
She's got the good shit.
Most stereotype image of an old hippie. Dude, let's just make love and eat mushrooms.
So because she doesn't quite get it, of course, Genius Brainer explains it to her because he's a genius, he's a brainero, and he'll be able to get it over in non-certain terms. And
can we just Genius Brainero?
Genius Brainero.
Genius Brainero.
So once he describes the game to the hippie, she's like, "That's the craziest bunch of far out shit I ever heard, man." So she's a hippie. Yeah, she then shows them to their rooms. Obviously, the 2 girls are going to stay together, 2 lads are going to stay together, and once again, the girls are bringing up Julia. She's like, "Oh, don't worry, Kat. She was just drunk and high." And the other girl's like, "No, it doesn't ring true because she didn't drink or do drugs. She was a good girl. There is something more to this." And it's only when I start playing Metaxu that I can actually start to figure this stuff out. Yeah, something doesn't add up. And also there's no cell service here, and there's some crazy electric because the boys now in their room, and Power Man goes to plug something in. Bzz, he gets a little shock.
But it's okay because Brainero's probably got like a backup generator or something.
Yeah, he literally comes out and he says, "Dude, don't worry. Give me a minute to hook up my satellite and we'll be streaming like CNN."
So
he's bought his own satellite, as I said.
Yeah, he's got everything covered.
And this seems to be what draws his viewers.
I don't think they had running water in this place, though. So what were they doing for 2 days? That's disgusting. Sorry,
Gross.
That was just came to me.
Right. So Genius Brain Hero then shows off his sweet satellite to his subscribers. And I think his subscribers are called geniuses, Power Mans are called power people, Magnificent Morganas are called Morganites. Get it? And, you know, the cats are the cat people. So they put a lot of thought into what they could call this thing. Gimme said it's... No, do CNN stream? I just thought they were like a basic news channel. Like, I guess... Because can you stream news? Because news is...
You can go live with a reporter.
You can go live. We're going live now. Yeah. So the guys, the guys are having banter. Power Man's like, okay, nerd. And then Genius Brain was like, yeah, well, it's my nerdiness that's going to win us the money. So kiss my ass.
But actually it turns out that it's one of the chicas. I think it's Kat, who has like a ton of followers. We need her.
You just said hola chicas, which reminds me, when Genius Brainio, when he talks to his followers, he opens up with an hola instead of hello. So maybe he speaks Spanish as well, because he's Genius Brainro, so he probably speaks multiple languages. So that's why he's bilingual.
Does he speak Japanese?
And but he also says, like, check out my ratchet cool tank. This is the setup that we're going to use to win Metaxu, baby. And all of a sudden Power Man comes into the living room and is like, yeah, Metaxu. Oh.
Well, he is Power Man.
He's ready to power it up, man. Woo, Metaxu. He literally does that. Power Man flexes. But they keep calling the place sketchy. Yo, we're in this sketchy room. Hey, we're in this sketchy town. Hey, we're outside this sketchy house. We just met this sketchy woman. Everyone and everything is sketchy. Yeah. Now there's a misty apparition.
Well, is this when they're doing the seance yet?
No, I haven't got it. I'll let you know when we're there, because I'll say it out loud. Misty. There's a bit of mist going around. This is a $500,000 movie, so, you know, when you've only got that amount of money, you can only use computer generated images of mist to show that you're being haunted. Yeah. Power Man is attacked in the basement because he goes off wandering by himself. They all kind of like freak out. It's like, whoa, we're all just getting worked up here. Time to set up the seance. And at 25 minutes, it's time for some horrid music and more streaming. The girl's like, oh my god, I am shook right now. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. Genius and Power Man are here. And now, time for lots of selfies with like tongue out and peace signs while a musical montage plays of them all getting ready. But the girls are getting ready, like with the peace signs and the tongue out. The two dudes, though, they're in their room critiquing each other's outfits. Like, you're going to live stream wearing that? Because, you know, Genius Brainer has put on like a nerd sweater because he's a genius. And Power Man calls him out. So they've switched roles there, because normally it'd be girls commenting on, you know, what are we going to wear? Now it's the men. I don't think that's true. Because this is 2025, as is this movie.
Johnny, if you're an influencer, you've got hundreds of thousands of people looking at your outfit, you need to be on fleek.
I'm like, steady on, boys.
Do they still say that, or is that already in yesterday?
What do you mean, still say it? I mean, that was started, as far as I'm aware, by Right Said Fred in their song Deeply Dippy. You know that one?
Yeah, I know the song. I didn't know On Fleek was in that.
Dippy by the way you walk. Yeah? So that's good.
No.
You don't like that song?
Yes. Let's carry on, though. With the horror film.
So now it's time to set up the seance after all of this peace signing and, you know, tongues lagging out, things like this, doing duck face. And everyone's set up the seance, and everyone is now complimenting each other's wardrobe. So they got it right. Everyone's happy with what they're wearing. Brainero, then, you know, one of the girls calls Genius Brainero a genius because he's managed to set up the whole thing, all the computers which are going to live stream everyone doing Metaxu. So they call him a genius. Power Man's like, don't call him that. He'll get a big head. So in which Genius Brainero says, oh, I've got the big head. At least my head, you know, fits my body. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm Power Man. Ooh, 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 ooh. That's pretty much his impression, right? And they all laugh. Oh, do they laugh?
Okay, well, there you go. You asked me for an example earlier. That was one of the painful moments. Especially because, like I said, Power Man wasn't exactly an Arnie. So it was like, what are you on about?
He's about as buff as me, which is pretty buff. Yeah, so I'm shook right now at all this, just like the girls are. So as now they've set up the seance, of course, it's going to be scary. They're all like, I'm so scared right now. Oh my God, I'm so scared.
And this is when they've got
but
that
don't
overlay.
forget to like and subscribe, because I'm not that scared.
Yeah, overlay and their little characters in the corner.
Once they play Metaxu, they have to kind of like join hands. Join hands.
Sorry.
And start going... Metaxu.
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 Metaxu. Metaxu. So that goes on for a while.
With 4 voices.
And it's not that they're chanting at the same time. It's all a bunch of mishmash. And again, I wasn't really getting commitment from the cast.
Unless it's what they were told to do.
A woman in white apparition now shows up in the middle of their table. And all of their, they're doing numbers now. There's like 33 million people watching or whatever.
And Brainiac keeps calling out.
Only going to get bigger.
Right.
And all the people are like typing fake. Oh my God, that is so fake. But Power Man lets know, he's like, yo, that was totally not fake. And I don't know what's going on. Power people. That'll show him. Mm-hmm. And I feel like you're not really getting into the Seance games Metaxu. So now this has happened. Now the woman in white has turned up and everyone online is called out for being fake, right? But Power Man has set them straight. It's time to celebrate. And what way do you celebrate? Magnificent Morgan and Power Man walk off to go and shag in front of a ghost with a stopwatch. So I think he's timing them.
Perv Ghost, yeah.
Well,
if you're expecting some kind of answer from me, I have no idea. I can't fill you in.
Is he timing the session? Because he sees him getting down to it and then he's like...
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't remember who the white spirit was in the seance, apart from that there was one and that, Cat got freaked out.
After Power Man...
And then I remember the sex and the timer, but I don't know what it meant.
Timer. After Power Man and Meg have had it off, right, Meg goes back to her room where Cat is waiting. Like I say, Cat then warns Meg about Power Man. She's like, don't get too involved. They start talking about the ghost as well, the white apparition. Mm-hmm. Then Meg, she starts off an old sob story. She's like, oh, I'm only this and you're that. She's bigging up Cat, saying, I've only got this. I drive a rented Mustang. She's got a brand new convertible Mustang, which they drove to the seance place in. Horrible car, that, innit? And I have to wear bargain basement clothes without followers. I am nothing. So I'm feeling for her. I'm really feeling for her.
That's so sad.
And without followers, I'm nothing. So that, maybe that's why she's so easy, because she's got all drive convertibles and only wear,
with no followers, I'm clothes. Nothing. That's...
Kat then asks her, is it worth dying over, though? Is it worth dying over? Probably not. And then Kat has a moan. Kat's like moaning about her family. She's like, oh, my family. They've encouraged me to be a doctor or a lawyer. They want what's good for me. So
they've done that thing again where it's like, apparently it's cool to be the saddest case. So if someone says like, oh, my life is bad because of this, you've got to be like, oh, that's sad. But I mean, what about my life? We've
already heard what Morgana's going through, with her convertible and her bargain basement clothes, and she's nothing without followers. Kat's hit back with her wretched family wanting her to have a successful career. Then Kat finishes Morgan off with, you may have all those problems, but at least you know who you are and what you want. And then she turns over, like puts her back to Meg and goes to sleep.
Beaches.
At this point, the girl that evaporated in the back of the car, she turns up and Kat confronts it, apologising. And Julia says she was not drowned, right?
Right.
Julia's been drowned, right? And it was no accident, and that the killer is here in the house. So then Meg wakes Kat from this nightmare. She's like, where's Julia? Where's Julia? She's like, no, you were just having a nightmare. She's like, no, I saw her for real. It's time now for that one of the many heavyweight scenes between the two girls.
Is this the bit where they argue about...
This is the bit, yeah. Every time I start to like a guy, you find something wrong with him.
Do you think that every time something wrong is found with a guy she likes, it's always something heinous, like he might be a murderer? Or do you think it might have been like, oh, he's got like weird feet or something?
Maybe it's all those kind of things.
The whole range, the whole gamut.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll never know, because unfortunately it was only for $500,000 movie, so we couldn't flesh that out. Didn't have the time. The next morning, right, Genius Brainero is making some weird-looking eggs for breakfast.
Yeah.
And there's drama. There's drama between them again. So like, Kat confronts Power Man. She has to walk off and take a walk.
But also, if you thought Power Man was your friend's killer, would you confront him like that?
Well, he's Power
in the
Man,
middle of
so
nowhere?
you're dicing with death because he's Power Man. He can just crush you with his power. But yeah, I'll be like, let's just get out of here then if you think he's killed someone.
And then tell the police.
But as we know, there's not much gas in the car, and there's no gas at the gas station.
But there is gas in the guy's car because Brainero brought extra gas.
Brainero did bring it together. So now the hippie now shows up while Kat needs a walk. And Kat suspects Power Man. A hippie shows up, and Kat starts asking her a bunch of questions about what happened here. And the hippie, while playing some acoustic guitar, she tells a story about a man, wife, and a son, and a tragedy. Turns out that she's somewhat. I'm going to read it. The hippie's a bit of a ghost, somewhat, because Power Man turns up. He's like, "Who are you talking to, Kat?" And there's no hippie there.
Yeah.
There is no hippie. Kat confronts Power Man. Morgan is standing there, and Power Man's like, "Oh, I always wanted you, Kat."
Right.
And Morgan hears this and runs off.
Okay.
As you do. And she's like, "Was it me or was it Kat? You know I've always liked you." Heavyweight scene number 2. The girls walk off in a strop.
Was it Kat they were talking about, or was it Jess, the deceased friend? I thought that's what they were talking about.
No, they were talking about...
Because he obviously wanted her as well. So he just wants anything.
He wants anyone and everything, yeah.
Anyone.
Everyone should give it up to him.
Cool.
Yeah, so the girls, after this, the girls decide we're not going to play anymore, but the boys, Genius Brainio has worked out, we need Meg to play, as she has
Kat,
the most followers. No, it's Meg.
Oh.
Meg has the most followers, which begs the question, why is she so poor? She keeps saying she's poor, but if she's got millions of followers, and she should be doing loads of an advertisement, she must be a spender.
Well, see, that's why I thought it was Kat.
She must be a spender. Can't leave, but they can't leave, though, because it turns out there's no gas in the car. So even though the boys said they filled it up, it turns out now there's no gas in the car. Power Man then shoves Genius Brainero. And from the camera angle that is shot at, Genius Brainero was like, you laughed out loud at this. Do you remember it?
No.
God. Like your favourite part of the film. Favourite part of the film. Power Man shoves him, and then
is that because Power Man did like a little 2-finger thing, and Brainero went flying?
No,
across the room
it was
or
full
something?
fisted, but it's just the camera angle that they decided to go with that was funny. We can probably use it for fair use actually. And Power Man, he's now, he's out on his own because people suspect him of killing Julia. He's just knocked over Genius Brainero. Genius Brainero goes to the girls' rooms with his injuries, and they're all like fawning over him.
Yeah, right. Power Man's gone a bit crazy.
Yeah.
Do you think he was possessed, or is he just crazy?
Well, who knows? Because once Genius Brainero goes to the room, Power Man comes in and starts bullying them. He's like, no one's leaving, and we will be doing the second seance. Because he already promised his followers, he was like...
Yeah, and he checked
you
the car
can't
keys away,
backtrack
didn't
on
he?
that, can you? So the seance will go ahead, and also now, Power Man has somewhat of a veiny head. So you know he's evil. Now it's time for the best part. So, who's your favourite character in this movie? Is it Genius Brainero? Is it Power Man? Is it Magnificent Morgana? Is it the hippie?
Yeah.
Do you know who my favourite is? Eric Roberts. Now it's time. It turns out the ghost with the stopwatch was the one and only Eric Roberts. And we have this scene back in time when Eric Roberts lived at the house with his wife, Tani Kane, who now goes by Tani McClure. Is it Tani? Is that how you say the name? T-A-N-E.
I think so, yeah.
Tani Kane.
Okay.
When she was Kane, she was making songs like, Burning in the Third Degree on the Terminator soundtrack with her band Triangles. Now here she is, McClure, making, I'll use it again, cack-handed movies.
Oh.
It's so unfortunate.
I mean, nowadays...
I loved Tani Kane.
Anytime I see that
Eric Roberts,
that's it. That Eric Roberts is in a movie, I just roll my eyes, because you know what you're going to get these days. I mean, we did our wonderful impression once when he was doing a short, and the overriding thing with the entire movie is just him taking a sip and going...
Yeah. That was a good film. That was a good scene. So far, you've seen Eric Roberts in 3 movies. That one he just talked about, and also the Charlie movie, and an episode of Entourage where he's awesome.
He's.
You want to pound this stone?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen him do a good performance.
That's the thing. See, I know Eric Roberts from when he was good. I would say he's a better actor than his sister. He's a better actor than Judy Roberts. 100% he's a better actor than Judy Roberts. But for some reason, I don't know if he's burnt a bunch of bridges or had money problems, whatever, but now he does like 40 movies a month.
He does actually remind me a little bit of that other Hollywood guy who's supposed to be a bit mental, just goes off the walls. He's also in
Mickey Rourke.
Entourage. No. And Impractical Jokers.
Oh, Gary Busey.
That's it, Gary Busey. Reminds me a little bit of Gary Busey.
Well, Gary Busey's career has also gone the same way. Yeah, Gary Busey can also kick your ass. I think he's got like 7 disciplines in the martial arts or whatever. Yeah, Eric Roberts. I'm not actually. I think Eric Roberts has also got this kung fu. He used to do kung fu movies.
Doesn't everyone in Hollywood?
He's got the kung fu.
If you want to be in Hollywood, do kung fu.
Eric Roberts and the director, writer, producer, editor of this movie, and also lead singer of Triangles, Taney McClure now, as she's going by. Kane was better. They are reenacting the moment when Eric Roberts comes home and he thinks that his wife is cheating on him. And he's like, I saw what you've been doing. You can't pull the wool over my eyes. And he takes out like a blaze, slits her throat. She could just tell him what's going on, but so she's like, no, you don't understand. You'll never understand. It's like, just say, it's your son I was hanging around with. It's our son. That our long lost, I guess it's their long lost son, because why would he not recognise his own son?
Yeah, I am remembering.
So then, Eric Roberts slashes the director's throat, and then it's then that she decides to let him know that it's his son. It's our son. He's like, no. Eric Roberts, ladies and gentlemen,
and cut
must be seen. Once we get that fantastic scene, you know, my favourite character is Eric Roberts. Just like last week, my favourite character was Lance Henriksen. The three of them are looking to leave: Genius, Brainiero, Morgana, and Kat. But possessed Power Man is now sitting in the Seance table, and he says, "Oh, you can't escape because the door won't open." And now he seems a bit calm. He's like, "Oh no, it wasn't me. I was possessed. You don't understand."
No, he's not possessed.
We've got to do the Seance. So. It wasn't him, it's his house, the hotel. The ghost made me do what I did. It's Eric Roberts. Eric Roberts is making it because Eric Roberts is the demon of the house.
Right, the house has to have a demon. And so far it's been Eric Roberts.
Mm-hmm.
But we know that now in this
timing youngsters having sex.
Influencer quadruple thing, there is a guy there who could be a demon.
Somewhat. So now it's time to start the live stream, right, for the second seance. After the first one with the apparition turning up.
It's blowing up.
Is it going to do numbers?
It's going to do numbers.
It's going to be lit AF because Genius Brainier was like, oh my god, you guys, 350 million now. We're going to break the internet because this Metaxu thing is crazy.
Also, if you were doing a seance game thing for social media, for whatever reason, and an actual apparition suddenly turns up in front of you, would you be like, 5 million? 5.5? I find that really hard to believe.
Well, in the comments, you know, it's doing 350 million, it's doing numbers like you say, right? In the comments, it's got like, you guys are my favourite team.
You guys are my
How did you do that last night? But then it's time to do it once again. Metaxu. Metaxu. And everyone online is like, Genius Brain was like, look, everyone's typing Metaxu. All of a sudden, 666 million viewers. Guys, we're going to break the internet. So doing these mad numbers, 666 million. Who shows up as the woman in white apparition? It's our director, Taney McClure. And she's standing there. All of a sudden, Power Man's like, because Eric Roberts is coming out of him. Eric Roberts has been possessing as the house demon Power Man.
Trying to keep them there. Right, okay, yeah. Because he doesn't want to be the demon anymore. And it seems apparently Tany's happy to just forgive him for what he did to her as well. Because they seem pretty happy now. They're like, hey, we can go off and just be happily dead together.
Eric Roberts knows that it's his son. You know, we just bypass the whole throat-slitting thing and just get back to our regular lives and start again.
And Tany's like, yeah, I forgive you because if I was cheating, that's what I would.
You know, love is love, and Eric Roberts is a very handsome man in his day, and probably still is for an older gentleman. And you know, they then inform our four that this place is cursed. Eric Roberts with his evil laugh.
And it has to have a demon.
Loved it. It has to have a demon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love it when Eric Roberts just comes out of a person. I live for that kind of stuff.
Well, we won't be having that in Heathen, I don't think. So I'm sorry to disappoint.
Unfortunately, there's no more Eric Roberts now, right? But Power Man is now possessed, right? And he's beating up the girls. He's going like Nick Cage and Wicker Man, just punching girls in the face and stuff like that. And he's talking to one of the lot, but he gets Morgana, and he has her neck, and he's like, "Oops!" Drops her on the floor. Then Genius Brainiac tries to attack him, so he gets Genius Brainiac, puts him over his shoulder, breaks his neck, and goes, "Oops!" There's a lot of oopsing now going on with the possessed Power Man. Oops, look what I'm doing.
So cheeky.
Oops. Julia, and then he's left with, if he's killed Genius Brainiac and Morgana, he's left with Kat.
Yeah.
And Kat's like, "Julia didn't want you." And he's like, "I had to kill her. What woman would have want me? I'm the Power Man." So if Julia had just had sex with Power Man like he wanted, none of this would have happened.
Oh, dear God.
So then he describes the drowning, slaps Kat, and it turns out that Genius Brainiac was not actually dead from that spine snapping. So he just like caves his head in instead. Power Man is now taking all the money that everyone's going to earn, 300k each, because he's still doing numbers, and he attacks Kat for the kill.
But you just said that Brainiac caved his head in. What?
No, Power Man caves in Brainiac's head. Right, so Brainiac already had his spine snapped on Power Man's shoulder, but he wasn't dead from that. So now, Power Man kills him. So he attacks Kat for the kill.
Yeah.
But then a ghost appears out of nowhere and gives Kat a knife. She stabs him. The hippie explains that the hotel must have a demon.
Mm-hmm. And she's like a gatekeeper.
I also forgot to mention after this, like the seance, or the first time that we see Eric Roberts and Tame McClure, it turns out that Tame McClure and the hippie are good friends. They have a drink, have like a ghost drink together. Like, "Oh, it's been a bad day. I just had to go through."
Well, they've been living through
again.
eternity here, haven't they? Waiting for a new demon to arrive. And
eternity being like 1960s for the hippie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is it just Kat who survives?
Let's see. So the hippie explains, right, to Kat that the house must have a demon.
Yeah.
And it turns out that Power Man currently is half demon, and he must be killed. So we've seen him be stabbed by Kat, but now he's back.
Right, he's still alive.
He's back,
okay.
and he comes back and he's strangling Kat. But Julia appears, and she's like all dead. All the dead ones appear. Like Genius Brainiac is there dead.
Right, all the spirits of the ones that he's harmed.
Yeah, and then Kat kills Power Man. She awakens, and the hippie is there, and she's like, "Hey, I gassed up the car for you, Kat, so you can get out of here." And then the hippie reveals that she is Metaxu. Metaxu being not living, not dead. She's a bridge between the two. That's what Metaxu is.
Okay.
So it's almost like you're in limbo.
Right.
And the hippie is Metaxu. And she's like, "Metaxu, there's live, there's dead. I'm neither. I'm both, man." That makes no sense. I'm neither, I'm both.
Oh, also, did you like the little thing that she's like, "Oh, yeah, I gassed up your car, and it was nice to go and see my husband for a little bit."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because did you notice when they first went there to the appearing gas station that he had a name tag on, and when they met Hippie, she was like, "I'm so-and-so," and I was like, right, I see what's going on here. I don't know why, but I see what's happening.
Turns out now that poor Tommy, who's Power Man, he's going to be stuck in his house forever. Now,
he's demon.
Eric Roberts is free to, do whatever he wants with his wife.
Frolic in heaven.
And, yeah, he's stuck there. And Hippie informs Kat he's there forever until someone takes his place. Like, I guess more influence will show up or something like that, and they'll take his place. And, like you say, she then says to Kat, because Kat has said in her, little strop with Morgana earlier on, that at least you know who you are. I don't even know what I am. As she's walking off, Metaxu, the hippie, says to her, "Oh, hey, Kat, I guess now you found your calling." So what's her calling? being a paranormal investigator or something, being a professional Metaxu player.
Swapping demons to houses.
Yeah, that's probably what it is now. I think you found your calling. Waved my husband on the way out. My husband, the gas man. And as you said as well, in that shop earlier on, she's also been complaining about her family, about how they wanted to have a successful career and stuff. So when she's driving home, she calls her mum crying because now she's going to be a more understanding daughter, I believe. And Power Man is now sitting in front of the mirror going, no. Because he just realised he's going to be there forever with a veiny face.
He doesn't even have a partner that he can, chill out with.
Yeah, he can't even shag like a ghost wife or anything. I guess maybe the hippie. You can have a go on the hippie.
She's married.
What, the hippie's married? Oh yeah, to the gas station tan.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's married. Eric Roberts seemed like a bit of a freak. Maybe you'll let him have a go on.
But they've gone off. They're free now.
This is a goofy movie, intentionally and unintentionally.
This is bizarre.
Right?
Bizarre.
There are too many films like this being made, because if this was the first of its kind that I'd seen, I'd probably find it funnier and be like, yeah, this is pretty good. So this is number one. By the way, it's not just number one for me on I Know You Watched Last Week. It's also probably the most awarded horror movie in history. I read it's won like 35 to 40 awards at, get this, the Texarkana International Film Festival, the Tarzana International Film Festival, and it seems that all these film festivals have awarded Metaxu Seance games Best Director, Best Script, Best Editing, Best Lighting, Best freaking Assistant. Everything you can imagine has been awarded. So these people have made up their own international film festivals and just awarded themselves
not a bad idea.
Accolades. Pretty bad idea, because when you see that a movie's won 35 awards and it's this, you know that they've made it up themselves. Goofy movie. It has to be especially bad to stand out, kind of like the thing, but this is just kind of bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were all bad, Johnny.
Taney McClure, she needs to stop. She needs to drop the McClure, get back to Tani Kane, reform triangles, and let's live it up like it's 1984 in tech noir, where the Terminator's coming to stalk Linda Hamilton. That's what I would say. Bring that back. I'd pay good money to go and see Triangles.
Heat is burning.
There you go. That's a little bit of it there. But I would not pay good money to watch Seance Games Metaxu, the sequel, which is what they're hoping to make.
Are they really?
That's what they're hoping to do.
How on earth are they going to do that?
Well, they just
the exact same story.
They've just been awarded 35 awards for Seance Games Metaxu. So, of course, if you win 35 awards, you're going to get a sequel. 3 terrible films.
Now, also,
but reasonably entertaining. 2 of them, at
even
least.
though this is released on the first Advent Sunday.
That's still November, so Christmas
in
November.
But it's first, like, for me, the first festive day. So, technically. But we didn't want to do Christmas because we've watched these already and it's November. But are we going to be having some Christmas specials in December?
I did give it a thought. I thought maybe a Christmas special could be I'll just do an actual decent bunch of horror movies for once. Like,
as our Christmas gift to our viewers for once, giving them something good to watch?
I do my favourites, like Hellraiser 1 to 4. But, there's only so many great ones you can do. And if I was doing Hellraiser 1 to 4, it's going to last like 4.5 hours. Maybe people will like it, I don't know.
We'll have to mix it up. Right. So,
But I'll definitely be watching Black Christmas and Black Christmas Remake, the 2006 one, over and over again.
And we've already reviewed those,
I'm going to review it again.
Oh. We're definitely going to watch it again.
Yeah, we're going to have the Black Christmas specials every Christmas. So apart from Black Christmases, what are the other any other Christmassy horror movies I always watch?
There's that Shatner one.
Yeah, the
Shatner
one.
we discovered recently.
That's good. I think it's just called A Christmas Story, something like that. Mm-hmm. And we're also going to have stuff like Silent Night, Deadly Night, and Silent Night, Deadly Night 2. A couple of those, we'll throw those in there as well.
I'm sure there'll be some sort of new Krampus.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the
iteration.
Krampus movies.
They're not the best, are they?
No. Although the Krampus segment in that William Shatner one was pretty good. Yeah, absolutely. So this is not Merry Christmas, because I cannot stand all the freaking Christmas adverts which are currently on TV. It will make me sick. It's like Tesco with their advertisements just make me not want to shop there. You're losing money. Just losing money. So you have to make do with 40 billion instead of,
I think there might be a horror Grinch, so you should probably watch that.
There probably is a horror Grinch, yeah. There's a horror Little Mermaid now as well, so there's probably horror everything. But yeah, Metaxu. Metaxu.